Hi guys, it's Victoria. So I said I would come on today after my OB appointment and just give everybody an update. So the appointment went really well. I was kind of nervous because it was a doctor that I'd never seen before, and you go online and you read reviews, and you know sometimes things, no matter what you look up, there's always going to be people who have a negative experience. So I was a little apprehensive just because I've never met her before, and I was so pleased. She was very thorough. She took her time. I didn't feel rushed. I felt that she took all of my questions seriously and my condition seriously, and that she was very informed and educated about everything. So that was really good. It couldn't have gone better, really. So I saw the nurse first, and we did my weight, and I was up 1 pound since my first visit with my family doctor. So that was good. I haven't been eating the greatest, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but 1 pound is good. Did my blood pressure, it was good. Got the family history and went over sort of everything that had been going on with the bleeding and everything last week, and just made sure she had all the notes. And then I waited a little bit more, and then the doctor came in, and she wasn't concerned really with the bleeding. She said that it can be really common with any pregnancy. She just said as long as it doesn't, get worse, or it's not really frequent, or I'm not cramping or anything, that really there's nothing they can really do. So hopefully we've seen the end of it. I did have a little bit of spotting on Monday of this week, but nothing, knock on wood, since. So she said the low back pain is really normal. I can hear Noah at the window. Low back pain is really normal. She gave me a referral for massage therapy. I don't know if I mentioned this in my video last week, but with my second pregnancy with Alexandria, I had a lot of low pressure early on, and it lasted until about the 3rd trimester. So when I was standing, I would have a lot of just pressure and like a pulling feeling like down below, And TMI warning, I went to the doctor. Actually, I went to labor and delivery with my daughter because I was having some like a bulge that was coming out down there, and the doctor said that my bladder was prolapsing, so that means sort of coming down, and it was causing the dog shaking or scratching, and it's shaking my camera. It was causing some, she called it residual hymen, to come out. So she wasn't concerned about the baby. She wasn't concerned about me. I guess sometimes it can be a problem after you deliver, but luckily for me it wasn't. And as I got into the 3rd trimester, that pressure sort of went away. I think because the baby was bigger and rose up, so it wasn't putting so much pressure on my bladder. So I assume that it's the same type of feeling I've been having now. She wasn't concerned. So what else? She wants me to start taking a progesterone like capsule insert at 13 weeks to try and prevent this baby from coming early like my daughter did. So that's nice. If anybody has any experience with progesterone, let me know. I don't really know much about it. I'll have to sort of look that up. So I have a prescription for that. I have a referral for massage therapy, so I'll make an appointment for that. My due date got moved earlier by 1 day. She said that they would go off of my ultrasound that I had last week rather than my early one, because it was really too early. I was only like 6 weeks. So that would make me 10 weeks and 4 days today, which is exciting because I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought I would get put back a little bit so that I was fewer days along. So 10 weeks, 4 days, sounds good to me. You're closer to that 12-week, 13-week mark. So I guess the important, exciting part, she tried to find the heartbeat with a Doppler and couldn't, and I wasn't too freaked out because she said it's still early. You're kind of in that in-between phase where we don't know. She said she felt around and said she couldn't really feel my uterus yet, so it's probably still tucked in behind the pelvic bone. But then she said, do you want me to get the portable ultrasound? This maybe is a new thing since, like, at their office since I had my last baby, but it was like it looks like a little iPhone. It's a little bit bigger and with a little wand on the end. And she brought that in. As soon as she put it on my belly, we saw the baby, we saw the heartbeat. I didn't ask what the heartbeat was, but it looked good. So that was really neat. She was really happy to hear that I already had an ultrasound scheduled with the maternal fetal medicine specialist. That's in about 2 weeks on August 6th. And then I have another appointment with actually the OB that I've seen the most, and who's my actual OB, the one I'm referred to. So I see her next, so that's good. Oh, and the other thing we talked about is my desire for a VBAC. If you haven't watched my pregnancy delivery stories for my first two, I'll post those below, but my son was a vaginal birth at 38 weeks. He was in my left uterus, and my daughter was a C-section at 34 weeks in my right uterus. She was breech. This baby is also in the right uterus. Unfortunately, I was hoping this baby would be in the left, because then it wouldn't really be a VBAC, because my dog is crazy. He's playing with a bug or something, I think. Bauer! Oh, he's got a stick. It wouldn't really be a VBAC because that uterus had never had surgery. So she said I'm a good candidate, obviously depending on the baby's position. I strongly believe if my daughter had been head down, she would have been born no problem. Labor started, labor progressed completely on its own, much like it did for my son, and she was just in the wrong position. So hopefully if this baby is in the right position, I can have a VBAC. She did say that, you know, the biggest risk with a VBAC is the uterus rupturing, and because my uterus isn't normal, that could put me at a higher risk. So that's something that we'll have to talk about, and I'll bring it up with the other OB that I see next time. I'm not somebody who is so tied to the idea of a VBAC that I would put myself or the baby at risk. So it's just something we have to weigh out, you know, how high is that risk. My guess is it's probably not a whole lot higher than if I had a normal uterus, but there's probably not a whole lot of research out there because a lot of women with this condition end up with C-sections. There's probably not a ton that have had VBACs. I am a member of like a support group for people with uterus didelphys, and I did ask on there, and one girl wrote back and said that she did have a VBAC, but her pregnancy was in the uterus that hadn't had surgery, so it's not quite the same situation. If I end up with a C-section, that's fine. Hopefully, if I do this time, the circumstances are a little different. With my daughter, I think the fact that it was sort of an emergency, she was early, we weren't sure if it was going to happen then, or if labor didn't start, they were going to keep me there longer. There was just a lot of uncertainty and sort of chaos about that, and I didn't know what was going on a lot of the time. So I think because of that, it sort of tainted my whole experience, and I did have a bit of a hard time after sort of processing everything we've been through, because you just sort of go through the motions when you're in the moment, and then afterwards you sit back and think, holy, like, that was a whirlwind. So hopefully if I have a C-section this time, it's able to be planned and we know it's coming and we don't have to go through any of that. But main thing is get baby here happy and healthy. So it's been a good week, much less adventurous than last week, which is nice. I've been feeling pretty good. My appetite is not good. I don't really feel like eating anything. And I get an idea in my head of something I want to eat, and then I make it, and I'm like, ugh. So just trying to eat what I can and eat small meals. Having a bit of nausea, but no, I haven't had any sickness. That back pain is still here, so hopefully I can get a massage soon and that will help. I think that's about it. If anybody has any questions or comments, post them below and I will check in. This is my dog Bauer. Say hi, Bauer. He just got his summer haircut. It's very hot for him, so. And it cuts back on the dog hair a little bit. Alright, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!